And we're live. We are live here in the Lantern Cave. And with me tonight to talk all things Zack Snyder is Shadow Vessel.
What's
How you doing,
up? Back, baby. I even got the rocking chair back. What's up?
man? Joker poster and all.
Hell
Back
yeah.
from the dead. We are
Back
here
from
to
back from the
talk.
beyond. Internet again.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot to cover in this podcast.
Yep.
A lot of things that people need to hear, that they're scared to hear. And I don't know. Should we start with this audio clip?
Well, go ahead and lead it, like kind of
set it up.
Yeah, set it up, and then there you go.
Yeah. So this audio clip is from executives that worked on Sucker Punch, Watchmen, 300, Troy. Former Warner Brothers executives. And this is what they got to say about Zack Snyder and his. So let me share this. Go ahead and mute your mic, Shadow Vessel, and I'll mute mine. This volume might be a little low for you guys, so go ahead and try to up your volume on your end just to hear this. But I want everyone to hear this before we start talking here. Share audio, because I think it's very important. It's from Executives in Exile from the Greater Radio 1.org. I just heard this stuff maybe last week. So yeah, here we go. Mute your mic, Shadow, just so everyone can make sure we hear it.
Number 8 on this list is Sucker Punch. And I got to tell you, Sucker Punch, what a bunch of suckers they were at Warner Brothers to even greenlight this movie. You know, and the thing is, as you know, and I'm sure there's going to be people upset with me. I like Zack Snyder. I really like Zack. And he's one of the people I would work with anytime. He's a delightful person. I wish everybody that directed a film that I've worked with who is a director had as much passion and as much energy as Zack does, you know? But he's a bit of a con man too, I think. And Sucker Punch just is yeah, oh God, you know, the movie was too long to begin with. The reason there's a director's cut version out there is because he wants to feed it to the fanboys. And I know he and I had this conversation when they were doing The Watchmen, and Watchmen is number 6 on this list. When they were doing the original, not the Blu-ray version of it, and they always had the Blu-ray was always in their hip pocket. And I think it came out as a 4 or 5 disc set. The total Watchmen thing, and that was always part of the plan to do that, because we all knew that movie was just too long. And I said to Zack, you know, he asked me what I thought when I saw the actual director's cut, and I said, it's too long. It's just too long for me. And he said, oh, it has to be that long. And I said, why? And he said, because we have to have all the stuff in there for the fanboys. You know, and my response to that, I mean, I didn't even have to think about this. My first and direct response was, we just cut 700 pages out of Harry Potter. Okay. Are there any more passionate fans in the world than the Harry Potter fans? You know, and are we walking on thin ice, as much as disappointing, possibly, you know, potentially disappointing the Harry Potter fans, you know, but if you look at,
Okay.
All right.
So let's recap what he just said right there.
Okay.
He says he thinks Zack Snyder is a bit of a con man. And when he asked him, why is Watchmen this long? Zack Snyder responds, oh, we got to put all that stuff in there for the fanboys. And then the executive responds back to him, we just cut 700 pages out of Harry Potter. Who has more passionate fans than them?
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to say that Zack Snyder does make these director's cuts retroactively after the fact. And he also just puts stuff in there for fanboys to go crazy about. He doesn't really care about what makes a better movie here. And I think, you know, that might be a hard pill to swallow for some, especially some in this chat right now. But it's the truth. I mean, this is executives that worked with Zack. Exact quotes from Zack. You know what I'm saying? We got to do that stuff for the fanboys. And now, Shadow, what did Zack Snyder say about Warner Brothers recently?
Oh, the torture that he's
comment.
been put through. He's been duct taped to a chair in the middle of a room, Lethal Weapon style. Go spit. You know? Yes. I think, yeah, like I was saying, I mean, yeah, he is choosing his words a little harshly, I think, and that is the classic case of manipulation going on there. Now, I think another part of it, which he may have had this in mind, he may have not have. I think the fans are kind of taking that word torture and running a little hard with it. I mean,
because he wants them to.
Yeah,
he wants them to. It's a design.
Yeah, it was a throwaway word he just kind of threw out there as, yeah, it's been torture. You know, I've been working all day. It's been torture. Oof, you know.
And you don't know what we're talking about. This is the exact quote up here. It was cool to do a Snyder Cut Justice League, and that was fun and everything. But Warner Brothers still tortured me the whole time for whatever reason. They can't help it. I don't know why I'm such a fucking pain in their ass, because I'm not trying to be. He's clearly lying right there. I think he knows exactly what he's doing, exactly why he's a pain in their ass. So, straight away as a lie right at the end. But tortured is a hell of a word to use when describing studio executives giving you notes on your movie. That's a hell of a word to use. Tortured.
Yeah.
When you have a legion of fans that are willing to fight on your every behalf if they even suspect any wrongdoing, right?
Yeah.
So a hell of a word to use, hell of a manipulation tactic to use on people. I don't get it personally. You think Zack Snyder would be over it. He has Army of the Dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's moving on. You would think he would be, but he's not. He's peddling in these petty things that don't matter anymore. Like, was Zack Snyder's Justice League his movie or not? Was it his movie or not? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I think, there was some stuff he changed. I think that were in the original trailers that we saw for Justice League that was different in what we got. And like I said, it was just it's kind of like the whole George R. R. Martin thing. Why the fuck hasn't he finished the last Game of Thrones book?
Because he saw the reaction
I know, right?
and he's rewriting it right now. That's exactly what Zack Snyder did on his Justice League. When you know exactly what's wrong with a movie and what's right with it, you keep the good shit, get rid of the bad shit, and that's what he did with Zack Snyder's Justice League. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He
retroactively made it. Yeah,
he had 3 years to hear feedback. You know what I mean? So, and today's Zack Snyder is not the same Zack Snyder we had a year and a half ago. I mean, this whole last year, yes, Snyder has been poking fucking Warner Brothers with a big ass stick. All right, and him saying that now is that's a little hypocritical.
Yeah, like, how does he not know how he's being a pain in their ass? You know what I'm saying? How does he not know that? It's intentionally fucking around. You're intentionally lying right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Yeah.
Honestly, I've been kind of laughing my ass off through all of this. I mean, whenever Warner Brothers dropped that Justice League trailer, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that was clearly a little poke at him. It backfired on him. Yeah.
They got sick of getting fucking yelled at for the last fucking year. Hey, we gave you your Snyder cut. We weren't supposed to get that. It didn't exist. Remember?
Yeah.
And then, hey, here you go. And not only that, we're going to give him money. We're going to let him finish it. We're going to make it look right. And everybody steal. And then Ray Fisher and his dumb ass. But anyway, they've been stirring the pot for the last year. All right. So he can't say stuff like that anymore. Like, he could have said that shit a year and a half, something like that. But now it's just, it feels like a bit of pandering. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's what he wants to do, right? He wants to just make stuff for fanboys. You know what I'm saying? He's got his crowd now. And look at all the Snyder channels. They all love Army of the Dead.
Oh God.
Isn't that interesting that he goes on their channels and then all of a sudden they love Army of the Dead. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why would they say a bad thing about Army of the Dead? Would anybody say a bad thing? If you had Zack Snyder interviewed on our channel, would you say anything bad about him? Probably.
If I had Zack Snyder in front of me, my biggest question would be like, why didn't you do a sequel? Like, why did you go in this direction? Okay.
With Army of the Dead?
Oh, no. Yeah. Why did you drop something that could have been so much better? Like, it could have been a World War Z situation. You know, we have 17 years. Yeah. 17 years since the outbreak, you know, and this, I don't know. But yeah, that would be my biggest thing. And if it was a technicality, like Universal still owned the rights, okay, you want to make this different movie, give it a different title. All right. You call it anything else. All right. It wasn't a zombie movie. It was a fucking mutant sci-fi fucking movie. I mean, yeah. I don't know, but that's just me as a butthurt fanboy.
Yeah. I mean, you walked out of it.
Yeah. I walked out not long after the opening credits, but
that's crazy.
I feel like, you know, I get butthurt because I feel like I'm not the demographic I'm not the right demographic fanboy. You know, that's what you got to do. You got to be one of those people who just, Warner Brothers is evil. Warner Brothers can suck a dick.
They're aggressively anti-Snyder, which is something Zack Snyder said. Let me pull up the quote here.
Well, hell yeah, they are now. Fuck.
Of course they are now. They have no reason to be, positive towards him. But here, if you all could see this, Warner Brothers. This is what Zack Snyder said. Let's all keep that in mind. This is what Zack Snyder said.
Let's move on to this one.
Yeah, Warner Brothers has been aggressively anti-Snyder, if you will. First of all, speaking in the third person, which is kind of weird, and also speaking a phrase right here, aggressively anti-Snyder. That's a phrase the Snyder channels have used, right?
Yeah,
I've heard Dave Junkie say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's interesting that he says exact phrases his fans use to rile them up. Like, no one can see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, are we crazy for like pointing out that he's manipulating fans like this? Yeah. What can I say? Clearly, they're not interested in my take, but I would also say that they certainly were not interested. Wait. But I would also say that they certainly were not interested in what I have to say originally. What? That doesn't make any sense because they gave you Man of Steel and BVS.
Yeah.
They gave you a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like Man of Steel, like, what was Warner Brothers fucking with him on that? That's a Christopher Nolan, David Goyer, Zack Snyder project.
Man of Steel's perfect.
That's a great movie. Yeah. And there's not, and it's funny that Zack Snyder's new movies like Zack Snyder's Justice League and Army of the Dead are both like fun movies.
Yeah.
A term you may never have heard with a Zack Snyder movie before. You know what I'm saying? Nope. You would have never heard that before. All of a sudden, it's in every Zack Snyder movie. Oh, it's a fun movie now. It's interesting.
Remember how anti-fun movies everybody was a couple years ago? The MCU's getting hammered.
Yes.
For being fun movies,
Now Army of the Dead's doing the same thing. Y'all love it. Isn't that fucking interesting? Isn't that fucking shit? Yeah. And of course, this goes back to Warner Brothers forcing Zack out of Justice League due to his daughter's suicide, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can understand why the man has a grudge, but now you're stirring up. You've created a mob. You've created a fucking lynch mob, and they're not just going after Warner Brothers. All right, they're going after anybody who has anything off tilt of what they think. It's like, okay, you're fucking death threats and shit to people, for different opinions. You know what I mean? And yeah, Snyder's stirring that up. I mean,
intentionally. It's like it's intentional. He's doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not organic. You know what I'm saying? It's not by accident. He's saying specific lines to get people riled up, and people think he's innocent in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be doing this stuff. I mean, I cannot stand for this stuff. You cannot stand for this nonsense.
Yeah, it's really not cool at all. I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm just like, fuck Hollywood. Fuck them all.
And what's the first thing? I remember, like, you said the same thing Proctor said when I was talking about this to you guys. You're like, well, Zach's a great businessman. That's the fucking first thing you guys said. I thought he was an artist. I thought he was a director. Now everyone's saying he's a great businessman.
Yeah.
When he's purposely misleading people and getting people to go to Army of the Dead based off, their fandom for him.
It's a rude awakening for a lot of people. I mean, he's a fucking director. That's his job. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, artistic integrity, awesome. But you know what? He's making these movies for fanboys who weren't paying for fucking tickets.
Yeah. And dude, he's making it retroactively, putting stuff in there for fanboys that wasn't there originally, like Martian Manhunter, the black suit. They filmed the scene with the blue suit, and all of a sudden it's black. Because fanboys wanted it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he put it in there. This executive from Watchmen says that that's exactly what Zack Snyder wants to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's odd. It's odd.
I was really wanting an explanation for that black suit in Justice League.
There's no explanation.
I mean,
Zack Snyder, they just say it's like Return of Superman. It's the regeneration suit.
It's not a regeneration.
It's not. When you watch the movie, it's not that. So.
And the explanation for it being a regeneration suit is dumb. It's like, I thought it was obvious. He went straight to the sunlight whenever he put it on. Well, he's done that in a lot of it. They did that in Return of Superman. He did the same shot. Yeah. All right. Whenever he fucking flew up,
But why would he need to regenerate if he's already beating the shit out of the Justice League? Right out of the coffin.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. Anyway.
You can say he's powered down or whatever, but he's still
beating ass like nothing. Moving on.
Yeah.
This is not about that. That could be a whole hour conversation by itself. But Ryan C. points out here, I still remember Dory's Corner calling us Snyder cults. You know what's funny about the cult? Like,
what?
You know how you recruit cult members? You praise them when they say something that they want to hear, right? Right? If you say Zack Snyder is the greatest director of all time, his Justice League is a masterpiece, what is everybody in the Snyder fandom going to do? They're going to praise you, shower you with love, shower you with light. And the second you have a criticism against the movie, they scorn you, which is exactly what a cult does. They're mannerisms of cults. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying that they are cults. I think that's a step too far, but like there's mannerisms there. There's the same tactics used.
There's a mentality.
Yeah.
There's a fucking mentality there. And I'm not saying the whole movement are Snyder cultists. Okay. Some of us, wanted to see we wanted to see his fucking movie. All right. And this whole artistic integrity thing only went so far until y'all started bombing the fuck out of Andy Samberg and everybody else and their artistic integrity. Okay. And you become a bunch of goddamn hypocrites saying dumb shit like that. And I used to be all fucking. Yeah, when I first came into this movement, I was all, fuck Warner Brothers, raw. But you know who changed my mind on that? You'll never guess in a million years.
Who?
Film Junkie. Film Junkie was the one, we don't have enough information. We really don't know what happened, And then,
which is what he said all the time.
We see where he's at now. Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean.
But here's the biggest evidence. People tried to, wait. Yeah, let's just go with
the article. Pull up the one where he talks about using the fucking fans.
Oh yeah, provoking them. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
People try to play this off as if he's talking about clickbait websites because that's what he's talking about, like in the paragraph before this. But if you read this paragraph as it is, there is nothing that alludes to anything else. Like he's really just talking about fans. So let's pull it up here. Where is it here?
This is what he thinks about the fanboys he's making content for.
Here's the reality. The fandom raised $750,000 for suicide prevention and mental health awareness. They saved lives, that's a fact. But on the other hand, was it fun to provoke them for a clickable thing? Yes, and they were an easy target. But they continued to raise money. Dude, people are trying to say he's talking about Warner Brothers or clickbait sites. That is not it. That is not it, dude. Like before and after the sentence, he's talking about fans. So the context is fans, without a doubt. Like without a fucking doubt. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But on the other hand, it was fun to provoke them for a clickable thing. Yes, and they were easy targets, but they continued to raise money.
Yep.
You think he's talking about two different people, or is he talking about one fans? What do you think he's talking about, Shadow?
I think, okay, was it fun to provoke them for a clickable thing? Yes, and they were an easy target, but they continue to raise money. I was kind of blurry on this. Was it pointed towards the Snyder fans, or was it pointed towards the Geeks and Gamers channel? Because of that whole fiasco or whatever, which I think is a fucking big ass hypocritical move on Snyder's part doing that. I don't think it matters who he's talking about right here. He's talking about fans who raise money. And whether it's them or Snyder fans, you're crawfishing. You know, he's crawfishing on this. You know what I mean? You got to stay consistent. All right, and that's kind of how you spot somebody who is using manipulation. You trip them up. You know what I mean? And he's, like I said, old Snyder, year and a half ago, maybe wasn't this guy, but now he is kind of this whole. It has kind of gotten him in a situation where he can ask for a lot. You know what I mean? And if he doesn't get what he wants, he's kind of got a whole weaponized fucking site at his command. You know, and he doesn't even have to say big shit. It's like he's using code words. It's like, because he knows
aggressively anti-Snyder.
Yeah,
they tortured me.
Yeah, like he's using throwaway words that any normal person listening to it would be like, oh yeah, my day was tortured too. But you know, he understands the mentality of the people that are running with this shit, and he knows that I know we're not talking about this now, but Gal Gadot just got canceled for not using one word. Okay,
did she get canceled for yeah?
Yeah, there was a hashtag, but so yeah, it's like, you can just take one word and manipulate a whole fucking crowd, a whole country, you know, and actually manipulation is actually the lighter word of the two. I mean, yeah, he could be a con man, but I don't know if he's really up to
think grifter might be a better.
Flim flam man.
Grifter. A guy who peddles and petty shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, it might be Zach.
And really, we can't get mad at anybody but ourselves. We were the one that gave him this power. And not saying that he couldn't. I mean, fuck, give him a producer that'll fucking put a leash on him a little bit, like Christopher Nolan. You know what I mean? It's somebody that's like, hey, wait a minute, why don't you pull this back a little bit? Or hey, why don't you do this instead? Or, you know, and it doesn't have to be a big thing. That's
torture. That's torture to Zack Snyder, though.
Exactly. That's the word that's getting
if someone gives you notes. And now
people are using words like abuse, and it's just like, oh my fucking god, Where is the abuse? All right, where is the fucking abuse? And I still haven't seen it, and we actually have better understanding of that now anyway. I mean, and
it's funny. Look at the chats. You can see they're just like losing their minds. They don't know what the hell's going on. Asthmatic. This is what they come up with. This is what they come up with when they can't understand something. Or, you know,
we're not saying, okay, we're saying
that nothing to do with what we're talking about.
We're not. We're talking about new Snyder in the past year and a half or so. All right. That's the Snyder I'm talking about. Okay. Because, hey, I still got a library of fucking Snyder movies I love and will still watch, even though his new stuff might not be up. I mean, I'm still watching Justice League. I've watched it more times than a lot of movies. When you consider it's 4 hours long, you got to double that number. Anyway.
I watched it 4 or 5 times, and what's up, K Dots? Everyone subscribe to K Dots. He's a cool guy.
Hit that like, smash that like, subscribe button.
Right that fucking like. We're not doing it for clout here. But yeah, if you had a Zack Snyder fan base, which is like, he has 1 million followers on Twitter, right? Let's say you had 1 million people sucking your dick every day, telling you you're the greatest. Are you gonna get a little bit of an ego? You know what I'm saying?
That
probably.
That and the fear of saying something wrong to piss them off.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we mentioned this before the stream started, but I really feel like the fans have diluted Zack Snyder and like his artwork. because now he's just. I mean, it's admittedly that he only does stuff for fanboys in these movies, like from executives that worked with Zack Snyder said that.
Yeah.
And like, and if you keep telling him he's great at everything he does, like the quality of his work is just going to go down. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what happened with Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's what happened with Army of the Dead. But what else?
People need feedback. All right.
Yeah.
I have begged people to like leave comments in my videos talking shit about them, so I know what to fix next time. But nobody will.
You got nothing to fix, Shadow. You got nothing to fix. It is perfect. Okay. People don't realize it.
But that's what we need. Yeah. We need negative feedback or criticisms, if you will.
Exactly.
That's why they're called criticisms. You're criticizing somebody about, you know what, that's cool, but maybe you can think about doing this like this, and then you can take that into account and you can be like, fuck you, I don't want to do what you want to do. Or you can be like, hey, maybe you're right, And
the fact that you came and question this shit.
Yeah. That's the biggest fucking problem.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's so bad.
But yeah.
I don't know what Asmat is talking about right now. I don't know what he's talking about. Did you guys like Kazuka says? Did you guys didn't like Zack Snyder's Justice League?
I like it. I got a few criticisms. That's it. And it's a 4-hour movie, so if you consider 4 or 5 scenes out of a 4-hour fucking movie, you're really going to cancel me for that bullshit? You're going to tell me I
canceled. They already canceled you, Shadow.
Yeah, true. No, but you're going to tell me I hate the movie just because I have a few criticisms? I mean, dude, come on. Every movie's got fucking criticisms. I mean, even movies I love. I mean, they got some crappy special effects, or they got some dumbass jokes here, or stupid subplot there, or but yeah.
But for me, the more I think about Zack Snyder's Justice League, the less I like it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like BVS where like the more I watched it, the more I liked it,
Yeah.
Because like there's just no depth to the movie. It's just so hollow. Like when you fucking look at it, like it's just like even the part where Superman's getting his costume, his black suit for no reason, when he's getting that, you hear this line from Pa Kent, right? Where he's talking about fly, son, fly, which was in none of the fucking movies before that. It's clearly just done there to appease fanboys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I'm one of them, so I'm gonna say that. But you know what?
Where is it coming from?
I can say that. I can say, look, yes, I love the fucking thing that you didn't like, and that's fine, And I can even say there's certain scenes from Justice League I wish was still in there. Not the whole fucking movie, all right? But yeah, people just start acting all like they're shorting out when you say shit like that. They're like, what? I don't understand. And yeah, so
we got a super chat. You guys are the con man with the little tongue sticking out. As soon as you thought the movie was meh, you called him a con man. What are you talking about? I just called him con man right now. Right now. In this stream, I called him a con man.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Thanks for the money. You fucking idiot. You fucking I don't even know what's A mean. American? I don't even know what that is. Asian?
See,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that
K-Dot's saying, talking about the Golden Eagle armor in Wonder Woman,
Yeah. But at least with the Golden Eagle armor, you got a flashback and you saw it earlier in the film, right?
I don't know. I still hadn't watched it.
That's more. That's already more explanation than what you got in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I was always hoping that I always saw the Golden Armor as a Kingdom Come thing, though. Like I felt like it was used way too early. Like, has she ever used it in the comics? I mean, I thought it was like a Kingdom Come original thing.
I don't know. I don't know what it's from. I know it's from something.
I thought it was an Alex Ross design, is what I thought it was.
Like Alex Ross. It looked like a lot like Alex Ross when you look at it. Yeah, 100%. And there was a lot of Alex Ross shots in that movie, to be honest. Yeah, Matt Diaz, we realize that. Yeah, it's hilarious. I hope he spends more money. I hope he spends more money.
I will disclaim again in case he got here late. I mean, I like Zack Snyder's Justice League. All right. I don't like it as much. I mean, it's honestly my number 5 on the Zack Snyder list. But I still like it. It's better than Justice League. But,
debatable.
I think it is. Even though I'd like to do some kind of edit one day. But and that's just for those like 4 or 5 scenes. All right, but yeah, you know, I'm not saying that I hate Zack Snyder. I'm disappointed in his ass. You know, I'm disappointed that he's going the way of all the other sellout directors. You know, that's what I'm pissed off about, is that he's fucking sold out. That's my view of him right now. And it's just, that's just a me thing. You know, I mean, I don't agree with the cancel culture. The cancel culture shit is that's a lot more serious. All right. We're talking about being fans of a movie and then trying to fucking make people homeless and their families and all this other bullshit, you know?
But so, yeah. I'm going to play this clip again for the people that just missed it, because there's more people that came in here that didn't watch the first minute, so they don't know. But let's play this again, because I think some people just got to hear it one more time. And if you can't hear it, turn up your speakers, listen closely. All right, share audio. And I'm going to go ahead and mute our mics, and you can listen to this.
Waterworld was number 9. Number 8 on this list is Sucker Punch. And I got to tell you, Sucker Punch, what a bunch of suckers they were at Warner Brothers to even greenlight this movie, you know? And the thing is, as you know, and I'm sure there's going to be people upset with me. I like Zack Snyder. I really like Zack. And he's one of the people I would work with anytime. He's a delightful person. I wish everybody that directed a film that I've worked with who is a director had as much passion and as much energy as Zack does, you know? But he's a bit of a con man too, I think. And Sucker Punch just is, oh God, you know, the movie was too long to begin with. The reason there's a director's cut version out there is because he wants to feed it to the fanboys. And I know he and I had this conversation when they were doing The Watchmen, and Watchmen is number 6 on this list. When they were doing the original, not the Blu-ray version of it, and they always had the Blu-ray was always in their hip pocket. And I think it came out as a 4 or 5 disc set. The total Watchmen thing, and that was always part of the plan to do that, because we all knew that movie was just too long. And I said to Zack, you know, he asked me what I thought when I saw the actual director's cut, and I said, it's too long. It's just too long for me. And he said, oh, it has to be that long. And I said, why? And he said, because we have to have all the stuff in there for the fanboys. You know, and my response to that, I mean, I didn't even have to think about this. My first and direct response was, we just cut 700 pages out of Harry Potter.
We just cut 700 pages out of Harry Potter.
Yeah, and see, I was one of those people pissed off about that shit. God damn, I didn't read the books until I was in jail. But man, I went and saw the movies, and I was like, who did this? You know, they jumped.
All right, so right away, that guy right there, that was the voice of an executive that worked with Zack Snyder on Watchmen and Sucker Punch and 300. Okay, guys? That is what Zack Snyder said to him. We got to do it for the fanboys. You know what I'm saying? But we cut 700 pages out of Harry Potter. Like, what do you mean we got to do it for it? Like, Zack Snyder knows how to, you know, play with the fanboys. He knows how to get them riled up. And that's all I see out of these new quotes. Am I off base? I'm not saying he's a straight up con man. That guy said he was a straight up con man. Okay?
Well, see,
an executive that worked with him. Okay?
I think a lot of directors out there who make stuff like this would love to do the same thing. All right, we'd love to have more fanboy shit in there, but the studio's running the game, and they're like, okay, it's got to be this long. It's got to have a 2-hour fucking cap on it for one.
Just so you could play it more times in theaters. That's all economics. That's all it really comes down to. Yeah.
And then it's a business. It's a business. All right, it's like fucking selling tires or fucking running a mechanic shop. You know, you have a certain skill set that you fucking But in the end, it's all about making money. All right. Now, yes, he did not get paid for doing Justice League, the Snyder Cut, completing it, because it's a passion project. All right. Other directors have done that too. And hey, look, that's awesome. All right. But not everybody gets to do what they want to do. Like Zack Snyder pulled off 3 fucking passion project movies. All right. After all the fucking bloggers out there who killed the franchise. That's who you need to be yelling at. Don't fucking yell at Warner Brothers. Yell at the fucking the bloggers and critics that fucking killed BVS. All right. So that's what Warner Brothers is going from right there, is those people. All right. And hell, I'm a fanboy. I mean, yes, I love these movies, but unfortunately, apparently,
Oh wait, you cut out. You cut out right there.
You know,
you have to say that again. You cut out.
Oh, I'm just saying that, you know, I don't have the same money as an MCU fanboy, you know, or some of these people that buy a ticket for a movie every day of the week and don't go see it just so they can bump the fucking box office up. You know, that's just dumb shit. But because so many people did it, now the fucking studios want that every time. And yeah, passionate fanboy shit like I like, you know, doesn't get fucking done a lot anymore. You know, I mean, hell, Zack Snyder should really consider himself lucky on what he got to fucking put together.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, they did not want, this is obvious from the get-go, they did not want him doing his thing. Yeah. You know, it's like, look, you're not bringing in.
I hate to interrupt you, but like, why would Warner Brothers be aggressively anti-Snyder? You know, like money, right? How much money did Zack Snyder make for them? Not that much when you look at the films he made, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
300 was a huge success. Small budget, made a lot of money back. Yeah. That's what got him the next movies, which was like Watchmen, which bombed horribly. We're talking about a movie that cost $200 million to get in theaters. It didn't even make $200 million. It made $180 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Huge bomb. Lost them tons of money. Sucker Punch.
Watchmen is my number 3 movie.
Huge bomb.
And see, that's just it.
Oh, geez. He keeps cutting out.
Fanboys have to fucking realize, you know, I mean, it's a business. You know, yes, we had some awesome fanboy movies there for a while, but, you know, the shifts changed. The trends changed, you know, and then that's what happens in the world. You know, that's how you get, you know, you never know what kind of thing is going to bring in a new audience, you know, and when they see something that does hit, they're like, oh, shit, we got to copy that, you know. And
yeah,
the fucking bloggers, all right, that quit fucking chasing down Warner Brothers, all right, people, and fucking, if you're gonna go after somebody, go after the fucking bloggers and the fucking critics and reviewers that hated BVS.
Here's K Dots. Yeah, we're not talking about whether or not these movies are good or not, guys. I mean, everyone keeps saying like what Zack's best films are. That's not what we're talking about. Oh, it's irrelevant if the movies are good or bad. It's irrelevant. What matters is if the movie made money. You know what I'm saying? And for the longest time, his movies weren't making money. Even Zack Snyder's BVS, it cost $300 million to get in theaters. You got to triple your budget to break even, and he didn't quite get there. You know what I'm saying?
And see, I don't understand that. Like, why do you have to fucking earn back 3 times what it took to make the movie for it to be a success?
That's the Hollywood economics. I think it would be like twice, but yeah, they say 3 times.
And see, if you really want to do anything about that, well, then you got to change the whole system, don't you? You got to change the whole mindset of the executives. You got to be like, all right, well, look, y'all got to bring y'all's expectations down. And that's not fair to ask. You can't, I mean, yeah, it's a little out there. All right. Everybody wants $1 billion movie now. Like, which Venom 2 might get that shit because they're only going to be in theaters.
And think about it, they didn't even spend that much on Venom 2. So I'm sure that's going to make tons of money. But like BS, yeah, they were expecting like huge amounts of money. And it should have. It made like $400 million its first weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like it should have broke $1 billion easily.
And yeah, Mad Daz. Yeah, Ray, I've been trying to keep his name out of this, but
oh wait, what? This.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're saying. This past year, you know, this whole Ray Fisher thing that's been building fucking steam. All right, Zack Snyder may or may not be behind that. I don't know how much I believe that, but it's
Warner
definitely.
Brothers thinks he is. Warner Brothers thinks he is.
Of course, they're going to think
that's
he
fucking
is.
wild.
I mean, you know, of course they're going to think he is. But you know, whether he did or not, I'm not 100% on board with that. But the kind of the power that's come out of it since it's been running, I think that's his target audience now. I mean, and it's a business thing. That's what you do. You steer into your demographic. That's what he's doing. I don't agree with all of it.
I wonder why Warner Brothers would think Zack's behind it. Maybe because he is a guy that knows how to manipulate his fan base. Maybe that's why Warner Brothers would think he's behind it. It's not completely out of the blue. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. It's amazing. People can't see these things right in front of his face when he tells you that you're an easy target. Like he's telling, these fans, they're pretty much easy targets for this.
That kind of didn't rub right with me.
But they continue to raise money.
They do. Yeah. They continue to raise money, but you better have the right shit to say, or you're going to raise that money and I'm going to come on your fucking show anyway, but I'm going to fucking dog shit you right in front of your whole fucking audience. I mean, God, that was just so fucking hypocritical. But yeah, wow. Anyway.
Zack Snyder is a man that's over 50 years old, right?
Yeah.
He's a grown ass man here. I don't know why he wants to keep talking about this. Like, why does he want to make these DC movies? I don't get that. You have your own universe. You have an IP in Army of the Dead that can make like spin-off shows and become a franchise for you. Like, why are we still dwelling on this petty shit with Warner Brothers about Justice League? That's what grifters do. That's what con men do.
The fans, man. I mean, the fans, they're clamoring for it. And hell, I would love to see the fucking Snyderverse restored, but you gotta eventually just look at real life shit and like, look, this is probably not going to happen. I mean, they've made it really clear, they've had enough. They've had enough with the fucking jabs and the fucking attacks, and they're attacking back now. I mean, I thought that shit. I still think that Justice League drop was hilarious. I mean, hate me if you want to, but that was them saying, you know what, we've had enough. Look, we're going to show you. That's what that was about. We're going to show you. You don't have the power you think you do.
And people are asking in the comments, what's the problem with him delivering for his fans? I'm like, there's a big problem with it because number one, not everybody's a fucking fan of Zack Snyder. Number two, it's art. You know what I'm saying? It's a subjective medium.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be making stuff that, that's not artistic integrity. You know what I'm saying? Where's the integrity in that? You have no integrity if you're just making stuff for your fans. You know what I'm saying? You're making stuff just to appease your little fans here. Like, aren't you supposed to make art that impacts everybody? I don't know.
The fans are kind of manipulating Snyder in a way. If you look, I mean, we've said that a few times already.
Yeah, I feel like they diluted his artwork, especially people like Film Junkie and fucking these guys that just suck his dick when he comes on the show. Like, ask him a hard question for once. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually, question some things he's doing, and maybe his art will get better. I don't know, like, because after Zack Snyder's Justice League, it just felt like just this movie to just appease people. You know what I'm saying? Just to fucking what's it called? Fan service. That's all the movie felt like. It felt like every fan theory that was coming up with the last 4 years was thrown into that movie for no fucking reason. Like it just felt bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We talked. I mean, like I said, you go back and watch the first trailers that dropped. I mean, we get the same scenes. They're just alternate takes. Like Aquaman's not as angry in one scene, and this line is different in this one, and
because he knows the reaction already, right?
Yeah, it was a purge. It was a giant purge, and yes, Jose, that clip was fucking hilarious. We were just talking about.
I'm looking it up right now just to show people because I don't think most people saw it, so I want to show people. And you uploaded. Oh, we should do this. Can I show this to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
I need to show this to everybody.
Which I do want to talk about. I think that Hamada line that dude says was kind of like a typo or something, because Hamada wasn't there.
Hamada wasn't
during
there.
All that. Yeah. So that, if people try to latch onto that, I'm just take it with a grain of salt.
He's just saying like Hamada is like the main topic of a conversation.
Yeah, everybody's trying to cancel Hamada. It's like he wasn't even fucking there. All right, he gave us the fucking Snyder cut, and it's not. They're looking at other shit, and there's so much shit happening behind the scenes we don't even know.
And this is also secondhand information. But apparently, I mean, it doesn't matter when Film Junkie uses third-hand information, and when the fucking Real Anarchy guys use fourth-hand information.
Yeah,
everybody believes it instantly, even though it's third and fourth-hand information. But when second-hand information, not good.
Yeah.
Here we go. Wait a minute, can y'all hear it? Hold on, I'm about to read. Can you hear it, Shadow? I don't know. Hold on.
It's not playing.
Let me try it again. But yeah, Ethan Van Sciver.
He's an
talk to
and I will say
about
he's full of himself. Okay, I don't like how he's just all about himself and stuff. And you know what? That's whatever. I'm not talking about the man. I'm talking about the message here. All right. And Ethan Van Sciver, as much as I've seen, he's not like a huge celebrity, but he has been in the comic book business for a long time. So he doesn't really pull the source card out. He's not one of those channels. But that's why I kind of, and what he says here matches up with the article that we got.
And right before we get into it, Thomas Carroll has given us like $20 tonight. Thank you very much, Thomas Carroll. You guys are fair weather. We're fair weather fans. Do you know what the weather is right now with Zack Snyder? It's pretty fucking good, right? Critics love his movies. Everybody is liking what, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're an idiot, Thomas. Okay. Thank you for the money. This is the fair weather. And we're being like, okay. But Watcher, here with the Canadian money. Thank you.
Thanks.
You're the man. A legit fan that's been here from the beginning. I don't even know who the fuck Thomas Carroll is, but I know who Watcher is. He's been here since the beginning. He's a legit dude.
I thought fair weather was a compliment. Fuck. That's out. I am fair weather. Fuck it.
Can someone call out Dave, the film junkie, for a scumbag he is? Oh, he is. He is 100%. Piece of shit. I'll say it right now. He's a piece of shit. But let's get into the Ray Fisher allegations. I mean, this is Ethan Van Sciver talking to somebody that knows inside information. So let's hear what he's got to say about this right here. And we'll talk a little bit after. Hopefully, our shooters get taken down because of it.
A nice text that explained what happened with the Joss Whedon versus Zack Snyder, Ray Fisher thing. Somebody who's in the know, and it's pretty cool because it confirms a lot of what I thought. So this is what he texted me. But yeah, man, from talking to Joss, it sounded like that Ray Fisher guy was all buddy-buddy with him until he found out that Joss was cutting his character down in a huge way. That movie was going to be his big break. And so if you have all that build up in your mind and then some new director takes over the project and basically cuts you out of it, I can see why he'd harbor resentment. The real story on Justice League was that Warner Brothers were dying to get rid of Zack Snyder because he was handing in a dreary, dark cut of Justice League that was way too long, basically the Snyder cut that is out now. When Snyder's daughter committed suicide, that guy, Walter Hamada, immediately pushed him off the project. Apparently, the studio was kind of conspiring to hijack the movie from Snyder anyway and used his recent tragedy as a way to push him out of the door. Snyder talked to Joss on the phone about the internal problems, studio backstabbing that was going on Justice League before the reins were officially handed off. I think that Snyder thought that Joss was going to do a little touch-up here and there, some minor recutting, and then was shocked to see a completely different movie get released. I don't know why Joss works with these massive budget comic book movies. He's always done better work on his own original material. Whenever he's done a big comic book movie, he ends up completely miserable and exhausted by the end of it. He was a walking corpse after the first Avengers and swore to me he'd never do another Marvel movie again. I guess he never learns his lesson. Maybe this time he did. Fucking awesome guy. He's the most normal, no-ego billionaire director you'll ever meet. Okay, so that is from a friend of Joss Whedon's.
Yeah.
That's from a friend of Joss Whedon.
Yeah. And he even went on to say, no, this is not Doomcock shit. This is like supposedly real. This guy is a real guy.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
Why would he make it up? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, this guy's
We're
kind of
months
high
after
up.
the fact here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first thing. I'm glad somebody is saying something. I mean, who knows if it's true or not, but we're still getting some kind of retort. We're kind of getting, okay, the other side of it now. So far it's just been Ray Fisher's side this whole time. Nobody will say what really happened. That article that came out not too long ago is probably the most we've heard of the whole thing. But then, of course, people look at it and say, oh, this shows that we're right. And then other people look at it and say, oh, this shows that we were right. And it's like, oh my God, it was creative differences. And Joss Whedon is a smartass. Okay. Yeah. He says, don't shit.
Jose M doesn't believe for a second that Whedon has no ego. Of course he has an ego. So does Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
You think Zack Snyder doesn't have an ego? Million fans behind his back. You know what I'm saying? Like, no ego there. He just he forced a studio to release a movie because he got his fan base to annoy a studio for years. Yeah. There's no ego associated with that, apparently. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I you know what I'm saying?
Wow. And see, hot takes. But yeah, Whedon is an asshole. I'm playing simple. Sure. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about abusive behavior.
Yeah. Did he? You know what I'm saying? Or did he just make some asshole jokes?
Yeah.
Is that what he did?
I mean, like, that whole thing where Ray was talking about how, and see, he said he don't even listen to Robert Downey Jr. Yeah. Okay. Because he's the fucking director. He's not the actor's job to direct a scene. All right. Hey, you can throw your ideas in there, and if they're cool, we'll run with them. But don't come in here trying to tell me how to fucking do my job. All right. And Joss Whedon's such a smart ass. He said some shit that sounded fucking dumb, but it wasn't in a
racist.
It wasn't in a racist fucking aggressive manner. He was just being a smart ass, And of course, when somebody else says the same thing using the same words without using Joss Whedon's smart ass fucking voice, it does sound like threats. All right. But see, you're taking it out of context like that then, And that's been my whole thing is I wish I was a fly on the wall, and
I wish I would have saw what the fuck happened. Instead of like, knowing exactly what happened, we have to go back 20 years to when Josh actually did something bad. You know what I'm saying? To the Buffy the Vampire set 20 fucking years ago.
But what did he do?
He verbally abused a pregnant lady, telling her to get an abortion or else she wouldn't be on the show anymore. Then the next season, she got fired off the show. So, I mean, kind of a dick thing.
Talking about Charisma Carpenter?
What?
Talking about Charisma Carpenter?
Yeah. 20 years ago.
That wasn't even on Buffy. That was on Angel.
Yeah, whatever. 20 years ago.
I remember all the articles that came out back when this shit first started. I mean, there was a lot of consent on Charisma Carpenter's time back then. I mean, back then, she was talking about how she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom for a while and all this shit. And
so she went along with it for like years.
Yeah, years, decades.
Just like right? Ray Fisher went along with the Joss Whedon Justice League for years. You know what I'm saying? Every Comic-Con he went to, he said booyah.
Yeah.
For the fans.
Yep. And, I mean, for him to get so butthurt over a booyah line, I mean, it's one fucking line. All right. Yes, I get it. I get it that you had this whole different movie. Says. You had this whole different role in this movie before, but we don't have the time constraint for that anymore. We're making a 2-hour movie now. Okay. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of shit to pack into 2 hours. All right. And so, he's not racist because, the fucking lighter skin shit. Yeah, everything in that movie is lighter. The walls, the sky, everything, all right? Everything in the screen gets altered, not just the person, all right? Not just the environment. It all gets like a fucking, that's just dumb. That's like the whole Wonder Woman line. Kal-El, no. And people have made such a big deal about, she says it with conviction here. You know what really happened? They lowered the pitch because if you listen to the surrounding sound effects, everything is a lower pitch. All right. And so, that's not, I think, anyway.
AT&T wants Zach. Zach is saying the right things, though, as Toby is still at WB. From what I can gather, Toby Emmerich is trying to find a new job at Netflix, which is funny because that's where Zack Snyder has most of his work. And guess who gave Zack Snyder the chance to make the Snyder Cut? Toby Emmerich.
Yeah.
So I don't fucking. It's crazy, man. What people will believe. I find it hard to believe AT&T wants Zack, considering his track record and stuff like that. With the financial track record Zack Snyder has, he got $70 million to do the Snyder Cut. You know what I'm saying? Where's the evidence the Snyder Cut even made any money? You know what I'm saying? Like, because remember all the people, they canceled their subscriptions after the Snyder Cut came out, right?
Really?
After they watched it on HBO Max, they're like, all right, I don't need HBO Max anymore.
Oh.
And then Godzilla versus Kong comes out and it's a huge hit and more people subscribe. So there's actually argument to be made that more people subscribe because of Godzilla versus Kong, right?
Yeah,
so
I don't know about all that. I don't trust streamer numbers. I don't give a fuck who says what had more views. It's information we can't fucking see. They control the narrative completely on that. I mean, Zack Snyder's Justice League may have fucking topped everything out. We don't know. And then at the same time, you know, fucking Godzilla versus Kong may have. Who knows? But
apparently that Godzilla versus Kong was a huge hit. And so was fucking
yeah, because there's nothing else to watch at the theater. God. Yeah. that's why King Kong versus Godzilla. Yeah. There's nothing else to go see. I mean, my theater will have like 1 or 2 cool movies, and then the rest is some indie stuff that shouldn't even be in a theater. Like I've never heard of it, you know. And then yeah, there's nothing else to watch, you know. So that's why I think Godzilla versus Kong got so much money at the theater.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I'll say it again, Jose. I'm not saying that nobody else can like fucking Army of the Dead. This is just my opinion as a butthurt fanboy from Dawn of the Dead. That's all that is.
You wanted it to be a continuation of Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, and the political bullshit. That's all I care about.
It's funny. People think Mortal Kombat was bad, but you like Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's just amazing. It's amazing. Like, you'd rather like a hamburger causing a car accident and fucking Nordic girls singing. It's amazing.
I'd definitely like to, you know, cut a couple of things out. Nothing that would change the story. I mean, nothing that would change the characters. Just nip it a little here and there, you know.
I thought it was a little long. Mortal Kombat? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, I thought it was a little long too.
Mortal Kombat.
A little long in the teeth.
I don't want to get into Mortal Kombat.
I
don't know. That whole movie, I don't know. I was expecting better, I guess.
Yeah, the hot takes, the racist notes the studio sent was to act like Quasimodo, right? I don't know how that's racist. Is that racist? That's not racist. Right? I don't think so.
We'll never know. What the fuck was said for real? I mean, shit.
First of all, Fresh Grass, you're not caught up on recent events. You're not caught up on recent events. Dude. I think K-Dots and MSK, they both got banned from Jody, right? Am I right about that, K-Dots? Some crazy shit went down with them. Kazuka's funny. Kazuka's funny. So I love Zack Snyder Justice League. But yeah, any other thoughts, Shadow Vessel, on this whole topic of Zack Snyder coming out here and clearly saying stuff to provoke his fan base into doing things for him?
One thing I didn't mention before during that audio where he's talking about how the Watchmen director's cuts and all that stuff was already a thing. Like, yeah, this stuff was already planned for BVS extended cut. All right. The one that we got out of the theater, you knew that was coming. Like, I think even when the movie was released, there was some kind of announcement of the extended cut coming out in a few months. So yeah, this has always been predetermined shit. I mean, the Snyder cut, people really don't. I mean, we weren't supposed to get that. You know, we were not supposed to get that. And I was one of those people who would have just been happy seeing the unfucked with version, you know, the incomplete version. Yeah. Whatever. I just wanted to see the fucking movie. you know, and this whole artistic integrity argument, like I said, it only goes so far, right?
And it's bullshit.
After a point, yes, after a point, you can only fucking beat that horse for so long. You know, it's like, especially whenever you're fucking threatening other people for their entire artistic integrity. It makes you a hypocrite. You know, if you're gonna fucking do it, it's got to be even and equal. All right. And so there you go. That's my big thing. I'm all about equality.
Very political answer there by Shadow Vessel.
Thank you.
Try not to ruffle any feathers.
If you like, everybody seems to like it. Everybody seems to like fucking Army of the Dead, dude. I mean, and I'm not saying I'm not calling anybody stupid for liking the movie or anything. And I mean, I think there's certain people that's gonna praise any Zack Snyder movie that were mentioned earlier.
Specifically because he was on their channels, right? Like, I don't even think, like, what would it be like if they never even got in contact with Zack Snyder? Would they even feel the same way?
Exactly.
Like, I don't even know.
It's like even their podcasts and their streams were affected after they came into contact with Zack Snyder, because now they're in the same state of mind that maybe Zack Snyder is. It's like, okay, I got this connection now. I'm scared that I can't piss him off because I might lose it, and so that they've kind of painted themselves into a corner. I feel like, I kind of feel bad for them a little bit. They say shitty, fucked up shit, but honestly, they put themselves in that situation, and they're going to have to. Something's going to happen to them. They're going to get canceled over something. They're going to say the wrong thing.
Yeah, dude, it's all a matter of time, and they even realize that. Comedy Marks, Dave Film Junkie, Garza, like the second they say one wrong thing, it's over for them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you kidding me? You think you're building a fan base, but these people just want to hear Zack Snyder shit. You know what I'm saying? They just want to hear, how is Zack Snyder great today? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
And I'll mention the Gal Gadot thing one more time, just because Wonder Woman was like everybody's favorite DCE movie out there, right? Mm-hmm. She was the hero of the fucking DCEU to a lot of eyes, and now she says one thing wrong. Fire Gal Gadot. Who's gonna?
We can talk about that right now.
Yeah, okay. But I just wanted to put that in there because it's relevant. It's relevant as a motherfucker. So there you go.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we'll see. Let's save that for another time, because that's a big topic about Israel and Palestine. That I feel like, what is with Twitter being like super anti-Semitic and against Israel? What is with that?
My God!
Like, it's crazy how anti-Israel people are. It's nuts.
Yeah. I know, right? They just canceled like a whole bunch of people for doing anti-Semitic remarks, but now they're doing anti-Semitic remarks, but they're still there. So yeah. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for now. Is Zack Snyder a con man? Was the question of the video.
Well, even you said con man's a little, maybe
it's a little much.
But a manipulator, yes.
Manipulator, I think it's fair to say.
Yes.
Especially the way he talks and the words he chooses to use. Zack Snyder is not a dumb guy. He's been doing this for like 20 plus years, dealing with these studios. He's not an idiot. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. And it's a little scary how he can just manipulate his whole fan base into doing this stuff for him by going on a couple channels. You know what I'm saying?
It's the trend now. That's the trend. Sad.
But anyway, that's going to do it for now. Thanks, guys, for joining us. That was perfect length. Covered a lot in here. I'm sure there's going to be lots of dislikes from people that just watched like the first minute. They're like, what? You didn't suck Zack Snyder's dick. Here's a dislike. What? What?
Oh, yeah. The title itself is, you're just going to get bombed by dislikes. They're not even going to watch it. They're just going to fucking see the title and just start bombing.
Oh, yeah, dude. You're going to love that. Yeah, man. But anyway, thanks, guys, for joining. We'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Peace.